Cultivating Authentic Universal Energy podcast. Join us, Lisa, Miliaresis, and Michele Belcastro, as we dive into the vibrant world of energy, intuition, and spirit. Our journey through mediumship, psychic insights, Reiki, and the magic of crystals is not just about exploring the unseen. It's about connecting deeply with the universe and ourselves. Lisa is a seasoned medium and author, and she brings the wisdom of her books, being light-driven and spiritual guidance, trusting the voice within, to life. She teaches us to embrace our intuition safely and joyfully. Michele, a sensitive intuitive, and the soul behind the Violet Butterfly Metaphysical Healing Center, shares her journey from her spiritual awakening to creating a sanctuary for others to discover and nurture their spiritual gifts. Together, we're more than just co-hosts. We're guides on this adventure into universal energy, sharing our experiences and the transformative power it holds. We are thrilled to invite you to our first ever CARE retreat in Safety Harbor, Florida, this April from the 19th to the 21st. If you'd like to dive deeper with us, you can visit Lisa at tocommunicate.net and Michele at thevioletbutterflymhc.com. Let's embrace the energy together.
Hello there.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I love it how every single time you hit record, there's this message that comes up at the top of my screen that says, this message is being recorded. And it says, leave meeting or okay.
And you're like, leave now.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Warning, warning, Will Robinson.
Yep.
You must leave.
Gosh, only knows what the conversation is going to ensue from here.
So how have you been this week?
Oh my goodness, I feel like a little bit of a rowboat that's been untethered.
Oh, well, that's good. That's liberating.
It is very liberating. I've gone from having a lot of physical limitations from the space that was associated with a violet butterfly for the last 5 years to no physical limitations whatsoever. And what an adjustment, Lisa.
It sounds good though. It feels better. I mean, your vibration feels better, even speaking to you. It feels lighter.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've noticed so many differences with my interactions with people, how easy they are, how much quicker I am to smile and laugh, like authentically, like that I'm bubbling out.
So let me ask you this. How are your cats? Because usually they mirror you.
They're resting a lot.
Oh.
They are resting a lot. And that's not a surprise because I'm finding that as a result of the physical move of all of our stuff from the shop, moving it into my home, trying to get that organized, my body is having a hard time recovering physically.
Sure.
So I think there's more going on than that, but the cats are resting.
The cats are resting. They're usually my go-to with you. I say, well, how are the kitties doing?
Absolutely. They tell a lot on me.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
So what have your tools been? Why don't we go into that? Or maybe there's a new tool you want to talk about.
There is a new tool, and it's not a new tool, but it's something that's bubbled back up in my awareness, and it's affirmations.
Love affirmations. That's
I
great.
know, it's like one of your tools that you talk about all the time. And I don't know, I've used them on and off. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't know if I can get on board.
Well, I think that's because you need to be in the vibration to receive it. You have to, you can't be pissed off and use an affirmation or it's going to make you more pissed off.
Absolutely.
They're angry and you go, you are happy and joyful. And you're like, I don't know, but I'm angry right now. It's like, okay, you have to breathe to the neutral spot first and then do the affirmation.
Well, it's really funny because as I was making the decision to close down the physical space of the violet butterfly, another friend had given me these these like whiteboard markers, but they were meant for mirrors and windows and glass. So I had all kinds of affirmations about freedom written on my bathroom mirror. So I have a double vanity in my bathroom. And I'm only saying that because that means that I have a really, really big mirror.
Okay.
And I had a lot of stuff written on it, and it kind of felt good. First of all, it felt good to write on the mirror.
Right. Now, how many times did you rewrite it? Like you erase it and rewrite it to something else? Because
uh,
I find with affirmations, I need to revise them.
I did. There were a few that I did. And you remember that manifestation prayer that you shared with me on YouTube?
Yes.
I wrote part of that prayer on
Okay.
the mirror. And it's really funny because the person that recorded that was not a native English speaker.
No. Hmm.
And you could tell by the grammar and the order of the words. So I would look at this prayer, this affirmation on manifestation, and be like, I'm sorry. So I'm up there like changing the words, like
You make them
this
fit
is
you. Yeah.
yes, this doesn't work for me.
Hmm.
So I did. I did very much. So
That's good. I do love affirmations. I do think they're helpful in raising your vibe. And of course, you need to be in a neutral or better receiving mode, I think, to make them have the most power for their punch. And the other thing is to leave them open-ended, like to not limit them, but the preset limitation to either beyond your wildest dreams or and more or whatever the
mhm,
case may be.
yep.
But I think as you were telling me earlier, we're finding affirmations used in more than just people like us using them in our work.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to back up just a little bit
Sure.
because maybe not everybody knows what an affirmation is.
Okay.
So just to be clear, they are positive statements that can help challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts.
Mm, yes. And many times we self-sabotage not knowing that we're doing it. It could be just a pattern that revisits over and over again.
Exactly. And we've talked about that already this morning too, but we're not going to get sidetracked. Not
No,
yet.
no, not yet.
All right. So one of the things that I was telling you is basically over the last 2 years, I've kind of struggled with my self-care. Now, to be completely fair with myself, not only was I running a business, but I had some very personal tragedies um, with friends, with my dad transitioning. And then I decided it was a good idea to go to school to become a licensed massage therapist. So I kind of had an overflowing plate. And even though I did my best to take care of myself, oh, and I started going through perimenopause,
Oh,
my
that's always a benefit.
my weight slowly crept up to a place that I'm not comfortable.
Hmm.
And I say that because my clothes are physically not comfortable. So I
Right.
decided it was time to do something about it. I needed a little bit of support. So I decided to sign up for Noom, which is a psychology-based weight loss assistance app
Hmm.
that helps you just with encouragement. And um, it encourages you not only to eat better and to move more, but to create commitments to yourself to for whatever that happens to be. So there are two commitments that I've made. One is to meditate every day.
That's always
Not
good.
not not, not happening every day, but the other is working out um at least 15 minutes. Now,
Okay.
you know me, most of the time my workouts far exceed that. Um I have totally switched up my workouts and I'm spending way more time at the gym than I used to, but I have the time to now. But
Hmm.
a part of this Noom app is guided meditations. And I was cooling down at the gym yesterday and I randomly started an affirmation recording. that I was listening to when I was stretching.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, wow, check this out. And there were some things that really resonated with me. And one of them was it was like, your body deserves respect. And I was like, okay, all right, hold on, back up. I like this. And how many of us don't respect our bodies and what they do for us and how they get us through?
Well, we take them for granted. That's for
it,
sure. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to chew on this one for a little bit. So that's kind of what got me thinking about, we really needed to talk about affirmations on our podcast.
Sure. Well, it's part of a focused thought that you stating the affirmation is, which holds vibration, which then
Mhm.
affects our body in a positive way. So I think that it's a win-win. I'm always looking at things also because we're physical and we're non-physical. So you're taking those words that you say, okay, well, I'm just saying some words. What does that do for me? Someone might be saying that, but the words have vibration. And when you say a word, a focused thought with feeling, it really has more power for its punch. So that's why it's important to create or to use an affirmation that resonates with you,
Mhm.
because then it helps your cells in your body.
Right. Yeah, it's physically changing you on
Hmm.
an energetic level and then a physical level.
Right.
Yeah.
As the meditation also helps with that too, helps to balance that out. So I love everything that you're saying. I love the ideas of the two things that you picked out with that. I don't think it would be anything, negative with any of it.
Right. Now, let's talk about the whole, okay, you're in a really bad headspace. How do we get from a really bad headspace to a place where we can embrace affirmations?
Well, I always say you have three things always available to you. You have your breath. You can take
Hmm.
some deep breaths, do some breath work. You have your mind, so you can have thoughts, so you can encourage yourself with a more loving feeling thought, whatever the case. I don't know what the subject is, but whatever the case may be. And you're saying to love yourself, maybe loving your body more, maybe sending yourself love and imagery. So those things I think can really assist on no matter where you are, because maybe you're not able to go outside and take a walk or to be in nature. Maybe you're stuck indoors in an office somewhere. So or in
Hmm.
a hospital setting. So, yeah, totally. Those three things I think are always available to you.
Sorry, I thought I silenced all of my stuff.
I have people cutting trees down outside, but
Hmm. Well,
fortunately,
I can't hear that, but
that's good.
I can total I can totally hear and I don't know if it's my computer, your computer dinging.
I don't think it was mine. I'm okay.
Okay.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, well then it was me. Sorry. Everything is definitely quiet now.
Not a problem. See, we had to focus during some little bit of a ding, so that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the other things, much like meditation, that affirmations can do for us is to reduce stress and anxiety. And one aspect of that is replacing negative self-talk with calming and empowering statements,
Yeah.
right? So I noticed lately, because I am feeling a little untethered, I have to remind myself that I am exactly where I'm meant to be. And that's reassuring to me. But I also struggle a tad with being grounded because I've been doing an awful lot of work on my computer. So I'm calm, I'm centered, and I'm grounded is another affirmation that I've been focusing on.
So being that appreciation of where you are today so that you can manifest where it is that you want to go.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we're coming up on a new moon this week. So that was actually perfect timing for manifestation. So
Mm.
I had an interesting meditation this morning that kind of falls into the idea of manifestation. And I guess you can incorporate anything of this into new affirmations that you'd like to create.
Mhm.
And in the meditation, you have to look at it from two perspectives, the physical and the non physical. And I love how spirit works with me because they gave me three words. And then they give me all this understanding in the back end. And the words were achieve, receive, believe. Now, when you're in the physical world, looking at things from the physical perspective that we've been taught, it's always been you work hard and you achieve, and then you receive. And when you have that physical thing, then you believe. Now, take it to the other side, the non physical side of you that we've always embraced, trying to make a balance. You believe, it's reversed. You believe, you receive, and then you achieve. So you believe in what it is you're trying to create. You receive it emotionally, vibrationally, even though it's not there yet. And you make it part of your being, part of your affirmations. And then it manifests and you receive, and then you achieve it. So
Mhm.
I just thought that was kind of interesting. And it kind of folds in with our conversation and creating some kind of affirmation for yourself.
Nice. That
So
feels good.
I like to look at them because we are physical and we are non-physical. So we have to acquire that balance in a way that works for you. And what works for me may not work for you or may not work for the next person, but there's a way that you can mold it or incorporate it into what you're doing to get the same effect.
Yep. And that's something that's really important about all the work that we do is take what works for you and leave the rest behind.
Mhm.
At some point you may pick it back up and be like, "Oh, I forgot that I heard this and I can I can make it mine now."
It never ceases to amaze me how that something you learned will resurface and it means a much deeper level now than it did initially when you thought it was great and deep at that time. But we're always evolving and growing, and
Yep.
it's unlimited. And I guess if we were done, we wouldn't be here.
True. Yep. So I have all kinds of ideas with this whole affirmation thing. But I know that a part of my journey with going to use that Noom app is I wanted to be able to improve my self-esteem because of the body image. Um, what's the word? Domestication that
Okay.
I have.
And I think I can relate to that as well.
And, not only does my body deserve respect because of everything that it has done for me, but I also have to remember that I'm worthy of love and respect,
Hmm.
period. No qualifications, nothing, right? So you can feel better about yourself and even circumstances that you don't think maybe you can do anything about just by the way you talk to yourself.
I agree. So, did you create an affirmation you want to share or that you could share? Or are you still working on it?
I'm still working on that one. Yeah.
Right.
I have all of these like thoughts that drop in, and there are times that I need to mull on them a little bit, and other times it's like, no, it's go time, let's talk about this. That's one of those mull over things.
That's fine, and that's how it should be. And for anybody who's listening, create your affirmation in something that's meaningful for you. You can have multiple affirmations, and as I said before, I stick them on my phone. I have them pop up as a notification to remind me.
Hmm.
There's always a go-to where I am. What is it? I'm healthy, wealthy, and happy beyond my wildest dreams. Something that you can do that is high level, so you don't have to have a specific with it, but always keep it light and bright. And then I've enjoyed the one I just picked up to this morning because I'm going to say I received, or I'm going to say I believe that this and this and this is possible, and then I feel that I've received it, and then I achieved it, so I can put that into an affirmation of some sort.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I
Did
liked
you
it too, and I was like to my guides, they gave it to me this morning, so I guess there was purpose in it for sharing it today on the podcast.
right? Right? No, that's
They're
awesome.
always working with us. Let's see what cards we can get.
Yeah.
Fairies or mystical wisdom? I think I'll have to go mystical wisdom today. I can do fairies later.
So I like just pulled this one card, and it's called Creation, Soul Expression, Something New. We're
Ah,
literally just talking about the new moon, so it's
yeah, to
time to water our
manifest.
seeds. Yep.
Yep. Oh, so mine is good fortune, and it says invite magic in, which I am all about inviting that magic in. Let's believe and invite that magic in.
That's a beautiful, beautiful validation of everything that we've talked about.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel very blessed that way. I really appreciate this podcast. I appreciate you, Michelle, and I appreciate everybody who listens because it just makes me feel happy to be able to share in a free way that I didn't feel I could 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
Right.
I just coming up on my 20-year anniversary in business with Extreme Communications, and I'm thinking back to when I first started. I was very fearful, and I started out in a fear energy because I was afraid to share. And I was like midway through, I'm like, I got to change that around. I can't be doing anything with fear. But, we can do an affirmation and then we can change it midway, and then, you're always evolving, growing, and making it go where it needs to.
We need to do a whole podcast about that. How did you shift from being in a fear-based mode in your business to being
I have to
more
give it some thought
authentic?
because I think it's been a work in progress. It's something that you do, and, I guess you follow the crumbs that your guides give you.
Hmm.
And as I follow the crumbs that leads me down that, I feel like the Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz follow the yellow brick road. You keep following these little crumbs, and it leads you. I mean, I've always felt that way since I can remember, that I follow the guidance of spirit of my
Hmm.
guides. I knew that they were always there with a force that I can't put a finger on, but is good and loving and always directing me in a positive way, which I think I learned at an early age. It's not always easy to follow that though,
Yeah,
because life gets in your way, or mommy tells you no, or something.
sure, sure. Or you have
Hmm.
other responsibilities that come first.
Yeah, and you have to find a delicate balance. And if I think back, I think one thing that I'm proud that I've done, and it was to acquire that delicate balance while I was in corporate environment, because that was hard to be able to be yourself when you have all these responsibilities that are very corporate and very rigid.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you say, I don't give an F attitude. You just kind of like, this is me. I'll still do the work.
Well, and that I think is a topic for another podcast. How do you present yourself as the authentic being that you can be when you're not entirely sure that your authentic self is welcome in a corporate environment? I mean, I know
Yeah.
the two of us have been there together,
Yeah.
um, in
I,
situations. So
I think that's a great idea. We can have that conversation for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So I guess what I'm wondering with our listeners or our YouTube watchers, subscribers, um, how do you guys use affirmations? Do you use affirmations?
Share yours. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to share it to the audience as well. Because,
Yeah,
when you share things, other people, they learn from it. You learn from it yourself. You feel good about it.
absolutely. Because I mean, we do our best to listen to guidance and we listen to one another, but you never know what kind of a message you're going to get from someone else.
Hmm.
That all of a sudden you're like, wow, didn't think of that. That feels really good. I'm going to borrow that idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's a collective universe. So even though we're individually on this path, we're a collective in it together. And that's one thing that I've been told repeatedly, that on another topic, but even with that topic of prayer and creation, okay, you create for yourself, but we can also at the same time hold that positive space for everybody in this world. And a lot of times I like to use Mother Earth because I visualize that we're standing on her, right? But so is
Mhm.
everybody else. In some aspect, they're connected to her,
Right.
so I love that. I love that sharing the energy and making it for everybody.
Awesome. So we're going to believe, receive, and achieve.
Yes. So I believe that I'm going to create this. I'm going to receive it. I feel it, that it's already there. It's in my pocket. And then I achieve it.
Nice.
And
All right. You
we
have
got the
anything?
emotion card and you got the other one. So yeah, all done.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So cool. Love it.
Anything else, Michelle, for today?
I don't have anything else, Lisa.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing from you and all the affirmations and manifestations you've acquired.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Thank
Lisa.
you.
Thank you for listening. We'd love to hear from you about your experiences. Leave us a comment below. You can find more information about Lisa and her offerings on her website, 2communicate.net. Michelle's shop is the Violet Butterfly Metaphysical Healing Center in Palm Harbor, Florida. You can find more information at thevioletbutterflymhc.com, including the online store.